Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
And headaches.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the S11 podcast for Supernatural, Season 11, Episode 16, Safe House. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me are Nikki.
Hi.
And Dom.
Hi.
And Kim.
Hi.
Hi. So, this episode was not... I was not expecting this episode. How long's it been? 3 weeks now?
If you want to get completely, down to the point, you don't expect anything, for any episodes, because you don't have the fucking scripts in front of you, reading them, knowing what the hell is coming next.
Now, see, what I didn't expect is what I'm getting at, is the whole Bobby and Rufus side-along thing that was going on here.
Yeah, I knew Bobby was going to be in this episode.
Yeah.
I did not know Rufus was going to be in this episode.
I didn't know it was going to be, a sort of flashback episode. I thought it was going to be, Angel Bobby. And I was, so happy. I was like, oh, Bobby.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be, too.
That's what I was hoping for, but no.
No Angel Bobby.
So, there's a poltergeist-like kind of haunting thing going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Kid gets knocked into a coma, and turns out, what Sam and Dean come to find out, is that Bobby and Rufus worked the exact same case, in the exact same house.
It's not exactly the exact same case because it's different people.
The same monster, in the same house.
Okay,
Pretty
there we
much
go.
the same case. Hell, even the dialogue was shared.
It kind of was. It was a nice, comparison, the way that Bobby and Rufus ran things and the way that Sam and Dean do it. And the only way I can say it, I think it was actually posted somewhere that the episode should have been called, Grumpy Old Hunters.
Grumpy old hunters.
Yeah.
And then, you get Sam and Dean, and they're so precious about it. They're so nice.
Excuse me, gentlemen. What business do you have in that house?
Oh, that was
Lady.
Rufus. It's none of your damn business.
It's none of your damn business, is what it is.
Oh.
Amazing.
They were the rudest agents I'd ever encountered.
It's the fucking FBI. They don't have to
know.
answer to you.
No.
I don't care if you're the head of Neighborhood Watch. I don't care.
I was screaming exactly that at the lady. I'm like, you're Neighborhood Watch. They're the fucking FBI. It really is none of your business.
I'm the head
made
of
a
the
big-
neighborhood watch.
Like it was this big thing. Like it was this big deal. Like, I'm like, bitch, you ain't shit.
Your badge is sewn into your freaking clothes like fucking Boy Scouts, so get the hell out of here.
Whoa.
It's not shiny and fake like Rufus and Bobby's.
Not gonna lie, I was rooting for Rufus when he was all like, "Oh fun, bitch, smack you."
Yeah, I mean, that was, his grumpiness at that point was, it was justified at that point because it really wasn't any of her business.
I'm Special Agent Riggs. This is my partner, Special Agent Murtaugh, and I'm just like, okay, really, who hasn't seen Lethal Weapon? Come the fuck on.
This episode really just made me want a Bobby Rufus spin-off series that takes place
It's
parallel to, because this episode took place parallel to season 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Lilith.
So, yeah, they mentioned Lilith, and I was trying to do some research to see if that exact piece of dialogue was used in a previous episode to place an exact episode of Sam or Dean. I think it was Dean on the phone calling Bobby and saying that stuff, and I couldn't find any details of it. So
Just
Yeah.
gonna have to watch season 4 and hope that it's in there.
Dean was that
toward the
kind
end
of
season 4.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Dean was kind of that grumpy, the world revolves around me and my brother and our problems kind of jackass back in season 4.
right.
So that kind of, hey Bobby, you want to get off your ass and actually do something line was kind of That was very Dean season 4.
And that's what made it seem like it was something I had heard before.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that conversation, to me, felt like I'd actually heard it. Like, it took place, like it was part of a previous episode. Like, they only just clipped the audio out and used it, and we never heard Bobby's end of that conversation. And this is what it was. That's what it felt like to me. So if this dialogue from Dean never actually existed, they did a really good job of fitting it in.
Yeah, they did. And you know what, Dom? I remember an episode where a conversation did happen like that. It was the day in the life of Bobby episode.
Okay.
Rufus was in that too. It's when they were hunting the Japanese monster or whatever.
The Baku that they already referenced at the very beginning,
I
where
don't-
they had that argument where Bobby's like, it's just a ghost, and Rufus was like, no, it's a Baku.
No, it was just some other kind of monster. It was attacking Bobby's neighbor who kept bringing him over like baked goods to try to like get in his pants or something. And he wound up wood chipping the damn thing in her front yard.
Okay.
Well, then it wasn't a Japanese thingy.
I do love Rufus. Like, where the hell did you get an ancient Shinto blade blessed by, like, how many special priests under the, the moonlight of Mount Fuji or whatever the fuck it was? He goes, I didn't. I used a wood chipper. It's like, oh yeah, that'll do it. I love Rufus. I miss him.
No, I don't.
You don't miss Rufus? The sass.
I liked
It's that-
Rufus.
I liked Rufus too.
It's that kind of. He's just an asshole.
I mean,
It's not-
CW has been looking for a supernatural spinoff forever.
Yeah, here it is.
Like, this is it.
That was
Yeah.
it.
It would be, yeah, because I mean they made it sound like they'd done a lot of like hunting together. So yeah, it'd be them two hunting together around.
I mean, even if like it were a 6-episode, like they kind of like it was a side series that they put in the winter break for season or Supernatural. Even if it was that short, I think it would do okay.
You would? Alright, so back onto the main plot here. Got a new monster, which I'm amazed that after 11 seasons they're still throwing new monsters at us. A soul eater. Nothing to do with the anime. I was disappointed.
Why? Oh God!
And there were no references made.
No
there
references.
were no references
Not at all.
made.
So neither
Because-
Sam or Dean are the anime type, even though they were in an anime called Supernatural.
Right. But they are not the anime type. But apparently this soul eater somehow, separates its victims' souls from their bodies
By touching them,
and then eating them.
consuming them over a few
Slowly.
days.
Mhm.
When their body dies, their soul is free to be eaten, pretty much.
Mhm. And then it packs up shop and moves along. And they don't exist in, on this plane, like in another place, is basically how they put it, like outside of time and space.
Mhm.
Sounds like a Doctor Who villain.
I mean, it's their own little pocket dimension.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, it felt very much like Insidious to me. If any of you
Ooh,
have
yeah,
seen
you know what?
Insidious,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It did.
where they were in comas, they had handprints, there was another spooky spirit world, kind of thing. It
Okay.
just felt very Insidious to me.
Maybe this was their homage to
maybe.
Insidious or something.
I mean, wasn't it the second Insidious just came out recently?
I
Third.
think,
Third.
I
The
think
third
yeah,
one,
third just
yeah.
came out,
They're
I
on
believe.
3. Yeah, they're on 3.
Wow. Okay, yeah. So why not?
I think it's an origin. What's it?
Never underestimate the horror genre's ability to spawn sequels and prequels.
But they done really good with with Insidious. Like Insidious 2 was really good.
I
They
haven't
didn't
seen the second.
they didn't botch it. Like
I haven't seen the second or third one, so
So
haven't
my
seen the third one
question,
yet.
Something
my
to watch.
question now, and this is the question that's making my head hurt.
Bring it. I will unhurt your head, or
Okay.
rip my hair out when my head hurts.
Dean saw Bobby in that world.
Right.
So Dean's last comment was, since that world takes place in neither time or space, that him and Bobby were there together at the same time.
yeah.
Right.
Then how does it work where the symbol has to be drawn outside and inside at the same time if it doesn't take place in time or space?
It's
Two
just the
things.
act of doing it. It's not the timing or anything. It's just the act of.
I mean, I have two options here. either A, all they needed to do was really... Well, see, the symbol was broken on the outside.
Mhm.
But really, if the symbol wasn't broken, I mean, they wouldn't have had this issue, but really, all they needed was someone to go on the inside and draw the symbol. It didn't matter when. As long as the symbols are on both sides concurrently, it seems to do the trick.
But how do we know if it's concurrently?
Well, it doesn't matter if a symbol is drawn on the inside while a symbol is on the outside, because the symbol on the outside traps
But
it.
the symbol was already on the inside. I mean, on the outside.
It was broken.
10 years or whatever, 4 or 6 years ago?
Right, but it was broken when she was remodeling.
It was broken now. But I'm talking about when Bobby drew it, it was drawn on there.
The symbol was different.
Yeah, the symbol was the one that Sam and Dean used was much more complex.
Than
It
the
had,
one Rufus
it had a
used.
circle around it and everything. The kill version was different.
Okay. I thought the kill version was only drawn on the inside.
Yeah, and as far as my second option was plot hole.
Because I was like, if it's the same, like, because I'm under the assumption that the one that Sam traced over in blood was the same symbol. So that symbol already existed 6 years ago, and because the other one doesn't exist in time and space, they would exist concurrently, because there is no time and space in the other one.
Except they're different.
Because if Dean was there at the same time as Bobby, then that means the symbol was still in the house
Yeah, good point.
from when Rufus drew it.
It's one of those time travel-y plot holes that someone might have overlooked.
And
Well, I mean-
then that goes as far as how do Bobby and Dean get back into their bodies?
Just
Their souls were
wake up.
time-stamped.
I don't know.
But
It's
there's
not-
no time in there.
Not in there, but their souls were their bodies were time-stamped when they left them.
Science.
See,
Magic. It's
now
magic.
now that you're asking that, it's like, how did their souls get back to their body? And I'm thinking, well, they got pushed out and they're just forced out of the world. And then I get that scene from the second Scooby-Doo, or no, it's the first Scooby-Doo,
Scooby-Doo.
where their souls go into the wrong body, and Velma is Fred, and Fred is Daphne, and
Yeah, but it's like, okay, it gets pushed out, but how does it know what time it goes to?
Time-stamped.
Like, 'cause if Bobby and Dean were there together and they both got pushed out, one's going to the past and one's going to the present, like,
Time-stamped.
it doesn't make sense.
I know it
it
doesn't.
doesn't.
TV mechanics.
This is why my head is hurting.
I think we should just accept it.
We have to
I
accept it.
can't accept it. I need logic.
It's magic. It's magic. It's supernatural.
If it's magic and supernatural, it still has a how it works, and I need to know.
It's just happens.
Pluto is still a fucking planet, and this argument is done.
Relax. We're good. This is a calm
So
space.
To fill everybody in. To fill everybody in, the running joke when you want to distract Mike is you talk about how Pluto is or is not still a planet, and he'll go off on a huge rant about it. So that is the context in which Nicole is referring to.
This is a zen space. A safe space.
Can we?
It's not very safe when she throws something.
She can try.
Did you just challenge her?
I did. Anyway, while she waits to accept the challenge and plots what she's going to throw, there's a point I wanted to make about this
Also, you just
episode.
see.
Did she miss?
Yeah,
She didn't throw.
she missed.
Yeah,
Anyway, the as Sam says in the beginning, we need a win. In this case, is a layup. But Dean makes a good point. When did they ever really have a layup? I wanted to make this point earlier, but I got distracted talking about stuff,
Pluto.
not Pluto. Oh God. I cannot actually form a coherent thought because I'm waiting for something to come flying at my head. That is the only thing in my head right now, and I can't banish it. Somebody change the topic, please.
Pink fluffy unicorn.
You have
If-
the notes.
if Pluto was a planet and it was thrown at your head, how much would it hurt?
It's a good point. It's a good question. A lot.
And would it exist in the same time and space in which Dean and Bobby were in the Soul Eater's nest?
I don't know. But, okay, that was another one. One of the recurring themes is the oldest rule, as Rufus kept saying, which is you can't save everybody. Something, I'm guessing, something Bobby kept getting reminded about, and something that Dean was kind of reminded about, I guess, seeing Bobby again, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this was kind of a distracting episode. Like, as Dean put it, he wants to, they need to find a way to hunt down Amara. They need to find a way to save Cass from Lucifer, which we got neither of them this episode. Then I'm upset.
They need to find a way to kill Lilith.
They need to find a way to kill Lilith.
Mm-hmm.
They need to do all those things, but here they are going after what they thought was a ghost.
You know what?
Side
Now that
plot.
now that I think about it, like this episode's just its pace was a lot slower.
It was, and it was
Maybe that's
very
what threw-
refreshing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably what threw me off a little bit. But
It was very refreshing, and the transitions were phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. Like, you'd pan over into the same
Oh,
room, and Sam and Dean would be standing there after Rufus and Bobby are having an argument. I was about to call him Jim.
Jim.
Sorry, Bobby, for wanting to call you Jim Beaver, your real name.
Mhm. Okay. I do that sometimes. Call him
Yeah.
by his real name.
No, yeah, the transitions were great, and I do enjoy seeing, like, it would be a great spinoff. We've said it already, and I have to come back to it, because seeing how Bobby and Rufus interact with each other is just amazing.
The thing
What
is,
happened to Rufus? Is Rufus dead right now?
Rufus
He
is
turned into
dead.
a vampire
Rufus,
or
yeah,
something?
no.
right?
No, that was Gordon.
that was Gordon.
Rufus was season 6 when that slug monster that Eve created, like a body snatcher or something like that.
Oh God, yeah.
It was it had taken over. The way they killed it was it took over Bobby, and they wound up like electrocuting it out of him.
Mm-hmm.
But it yeah, it forced it took over Bobby and forced Bobby to kill Rufus. That was how it happened.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but other than that, a very straightforward episode with just lots of nostalgia for me because I really miss Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time because I was trying to place in my head like when this episode was taking place, and when they got onto the phone at the end and they mentioned Lilith, because I was like, they keep mentioning the apocalypse, and I'm thinking the apocalypse, the one
Season
with
5.
the seals and
Yeah, the
no,
Four
no,
Horsemen.
the first 5 seasons, like
Oh,
the seal, like breaking the seals. That's
The
the
66
apocalypse that they were
seals,
talking
yeah.
about.
that was
Yeah.
season 4. So
Yes.
Yeah,
that
so
was
I'm
worse.
like, I'm running that through my head. Nikki had mentioned how, there was like 2 other apocalypses, and so she's
really
saying it was
was.
only like a year or
There's a
two,
few
a couple
times.
years ago. It was like just before Bobby died, so what was that, 2 years, 3 years ago?
3.
And I'm like, I feel like this is the apocalypse, like the big
first
one.
one.
Like, yeah, with the devil and the seal, like that's the one I felt.
Yeah.
And I was like, so thankful that they just put that little bit of dialogue in there about Lilith, just so you have no like qualms about it. It's season 4 now, like going in, there's no question about it. It's just now when in season 4, which is not as important, but at least it takes that presence out of your mind.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking season 5 the whole time, but like you said, that little bit about Lilith. It's like, oh yeah, she died at the end of season 4. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, actually, what
Did
was
you hit
that?
him?
No, but it was big and it was loud,
You almost got him.
and it made a lot of noise, and I don't know what it was, and I can't find it.
It wasn't big, and it was solid. Maybe that's why it
That's
made a
what
lot of
she
sense.
said.
I'm done.
So, next episode is called Red Meat.
What a transition!
I know. Next episode is called Red Meat. Sam and Dean battle a pair of werewolves who have captured 2 victims. Just as the brothers are about to win, one of the werewolves shoots Sam. Dean gets his brother and the victims out of the house, but learns a pack of werewolves are hot on their tail, hoping to kill them all.
Werewolf's tail.
And if you watch the promo, it shows that Reaper lady who said the next time you guys die, you're dead for good, saying, I am here to reap Sam.
Hmm.
Huh.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna pay off.
Mm-hmm.
16 episodes later.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna reap him.
Sorry,
Can we
after
just get another? Can we get another episode where they play "Don't Fear the Reaper," please? Like, we haven't seen that since like season 1 or 2, and I need that back in my life again.
Season 2? No.
It was the Faith Healer. It was season 1 or 2.
Yeah, Faith. Yeah, it's season 1, episode
Okay.
14 or something like that, which is one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, it's a great episode.
Yeah, because Dean was like legitimately dying, and that was before all of this. You know, they've been resurrected 1,800 times.
Mm-hmm.
You mean like 4?
Well, there's a point in season 5.
Yeah, episode where they keep going into heaven.
Like it was either Zachariah or Joshua. One of them said to him, like, "You think this is the first? You think this is the first time you guys have, you know, died and come up here? Like seriously?" Like he made it seem like it was a lot and it happened often, and they just, you know, their memories were wiped.
Maybe.
Angels are dicks.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because you can't count the times that Dean died over and over and over again because that was just trickery.
That was like 300 Tuesdays. That was a lot of deaths.
He didn't actually die any of those times.
No, I know, but I mean that's still a lot if you want to count them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Tuesdays. A year's worth of Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta suck.
Or Sam.
The
Yeah.
mystery spot.
Great
Heat
episode.
of the moment.
So, is there anything else for this episode that we want to talk about?
So if I was to go into the Soul Eater's nest right now, would I see Dean and Bobby?
Yes, Tom.
Sure.
You would.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. The answer is purple.
I thought the answer would be the Soul Eater's nest has been destroyed, so you would not see them.
You could go to a different Soul Eater's nest.
Dom, the Soul Eater's nest has been destroyed. You wouldn't see them.
But are other Soul Eaters nests linked?
I would assume that no, they create their own pocket dimension.
Okay.
What if one is a brother to the other one? They're like, dude, can I come over and watch Netflix?
I would assume
And chill?
no. I don't know.
I don't think he. Well, that's a
Wait,
whole
you would
nother
want to
thing.
Netflix and chill with your brother?
I didn't say and chill. I just said watch Netflix.
No, I'm asking Dom because
It's
he added
Dom's
the
the one who
and
added
chill
chill.
part.
No, the Soul Eaters. They're into that thing.
Oh, are
a
they?
Whole, that's a
Yeah,
whole
that's
nother.
that's their shtick.
That's their
Oh,
shtick.
That's their shtick.
On that note,
But I'm
That
pumped.
explains a lot. Huh.
Nicole,
With?
where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyBottom24, LadyYVNOM24.
Dom?
You can find me in the Soul Eater's nest.
Okay.
So chilling.
No. No.
Kim? I guess?
I don't even know. I don't even know. The Twitter is the Huffity and the Puffin and the Hatred.
Oh.
I'm gonna blow your house down.
Has?
I'm trying to count the identical sounding laugh sounds coming from me. They were very rhythmic for a while. Considering I'm the only one still on camera, you can follow me at Villaging on Twitter.
I lost my shoe.
You can follow all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us there for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Can't believe I held a straight face during all that.
If you guys live in the Soul Eater's Pocket Dimension, you can watch this show anytime you'd like.
You can even watch it before we've actually done anything.
Thank you all for watching. Have a good night.
My head still hurts.
It hurts more now.
Oh, ow.